I'm Tom, Tom's daughter. No, not my daughter. Just two idiots in a car talking about stupid shit. It's not going to help anyone's mental health. People are crazy. This is a start. Wish us luck.
Is my name necessary or not? Hello.
Hi.
Apparently we start with something that's very confronting.
Yes, this is going to be a funny one. This is the second part of the video we shot last week. And we had so many disagreements, and that disagreement still continues to this day.
Yeah.
Truth be told, we've been arguing for the last 1 hour about this whole situation.
It's going to be a great episode because there's so many disagreements. It's fun.
Yes, obviously, we are supposed to disagree on everything on this video, so
Yeah.
be warned.
Be warned.
Okay, okay, start. You start.
So what we're trying to do, since we figured out that there's so many issues that have quite manly problems, like the one you have with your neck.
You can't say that. Everyone's going to think of something else when you say manly problems.
I'm too innocent.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I actually don't get these kind of jokes at all, ever. But yeah, we've been talking about man mental health, and we had 6 to 7 points the other day, and I wrote these points down, and now I need Tom's insight on how to fix these points.
Yes, because we can sit there and talk about all these issues all day long, but that's not going to change anything for anyone. So these are some of the things that we thought it might help. Again, it's not going to change the world on any time, but we may be able to reach out to some other people that we have in our lives and maybe start there, and maybe start a chain reaction of sort. If you can help the 3 people right next to you, and maybe it can, drip into other people and help more people. That's the hope.
Philosophically mansplaining how this works.
I always mansplain. That's never gonna change.
Oh, it's cute.
Okay, Sheila, operator, continue.
Okay, the first thing that we talked about was that men don't receive compliments, or very rarely.
Very rarely.
But
unless you're a really super good-looking guy.
Yeah, I don't trust these people. But one sentence that comes into mind is, one kind word can echo in a man's head for years. Imagine what a few more could do. So, how do we change that fact that men don't get many compliments? My approach was just simply give them more compliments. But that's where the argument started. Because somebody said men don't care about compliments. So since my approach is wrong, I'm happy to learn what a man wants instead of a compliment.
I'm not saying that we don't like compliments and we are not.
Well, you don't believe them. That's even worse.
Okay, again, it's not two ends of the spectrum. What I'm saying is, we can take compliments when it comes from people we trust. Most of the times if a random person tells me like I look good or I dress well,
it's a lie anyway.
Thank you. It's probably not gonna go anywhere with me.
It's the same for me. I walk past 5 guys, every second one says, "Oh, you look pretty," and I'm like, yeah. You just say that because you want something out of it. It's not just for men. The most compliments, people don't believe them. It's not just a man issue.
Maybe, and I don't know. I don't think we get complimented for our. I don't know. It's the actions for. That's what the argument was, because I said if you do want to compliment someone, make actions. Do something that would be much more appreciated, and I would remember it if somebody did something for me than just saying it.
So instead of just a simple compliment, you want an action. Like you said, a hug or something.
Anything. Any action would be appreciated than words, because men, okay, I can't say men. I mean, maybe it's men. Maybe, I mean, I feel like men think words are mostly empty. Action speaks. If you do something, that has more value than words. That's how I think, how men feel. You may have a very different opinion about that. She had. We've been arguing
I
about.
do. I mean, you can't go at every time and point and just do actions. Sometimes you don't feel like it, but it's easy to just say a sincere compliment. And if you concentrate on not just the achievements, the character, the kindness, and just the effort somebody puts in, I find that a good start.
Yes, the key word would be sincere and where it is coming from.
Of course, if you have nothing nice to say, nothing sincere to say nothing. Say nothing. Otherwise, you ruin all the trust that might have been there or could have been
True,
there.
yeah, it can backfire very quickly, yeah.
So, yeah, if I have nothing nice to say, I will not say something just for the sake of saying it.
Yeah, never do that. Don't do it for the sake of doing it. This is one of the things men don't do that to each other. We don't say anything for the sake of doing it, which is one of the biggest arguments between men and women. We don't say things just for the sake of saying it.
I don't say things for the sake of saying it. If I feel it, I say it. If I don't feel it, I will not say it.
True, this is what I say. You're 46% our people.
Our people.
Yes.
Speaking for yourself.
Usually, and it's always like, you can say something nice. I'm like, yeah.
If I don't think something nice, I don't say something nice.
And we don't think of all the stuff we say all the time because I don't know. And then there's the other thing. Like if you say something all the time, it loses its value.
Of course. Nobody goes around and compliments every single person 5 minutes a day. That's ridiculous.
Men don't say we never say I love you to another man most of the time, even if you have really
But
strong.
men do that, oh, you look so beautiful, 500 times a day to their girlfriends sometimes. I don't believe that stuff.
Okay, trust
at
me.
all.
We don't want to.
Well, then don't. It's just unrealistic.
Yeah, but if we don't, that's being used against us. Like, he has no love for me. Like, come on.
I don't know if general women act like that. In my world, that's very, very different.
You don't, but okay, there'll be a lot of people who can say that. Like,
Well, we need more followers so we can actually have people comment on this to solve this argument. because
this
is
we've been
never
arguing about
ending.
this for a long time now.
This is a pain. But the other compromise we found, that instead of one or the other, doesn't matter if man or woman, we don't assume the other person that we value them. We just say it or do the actiony thingy.
Yes, that's a good
And
compromise.
maybe we combine both,
Maybe do both. Yeah, maybe do both.
and then we're on the safe side.
Yeah,
So
maybe do both.
to help with that, we don't assume anymore, which I hate people that assume anyway. I can't deal with this. Just stick it. If it's not spoken, it didn't exist. But, yeah.
One of the things that I always found it is, if you do something, it could be the silliest thing in the world, and the other person, no matter how big or small it is, if they do any sort of gesture as an acknowledgement that I see what happened here and I appreciate that, it can be verbal, it can be an action, that's fine. It's when there is no acknowledgement of anything, and that's when people start feeling underappreciated.
The only reason why I accept these tiny things from men is because they're not good at saying this. But I have friends, they'll just buy me random chocolates. If I have a bad day, it's like, here's a chocolate. Tiny sweet gesture. I feel appreciated, I feel loved, all that stuff. And because they would never be like, hey, you're doing good, you're doing this, and you're having a hard time, I totally validate that, all that emotional blah blah that men apparently can't do. It's just a piece of chocolate. I understand, and I expect nothing more than that, because that would be too much to ask.
True.
But I see it, I understand it, but it would still be nice if men could help out and verbalize some of these things at times.
And that's the thing, like when we do something, because that's what men do to each other, And we appreciate that a lot, and we think that translates to your people too, but unfortunately it doesn't.
Yeah, no, that's a different language. We speak the verbal language more than the action language.
And we are all about action.
I know. And most of these actions are interesting. You need to know what actions to look for, otherwise you can't see the effort. And that is pretty tricky. That's why a little bit of help would be appreciated on that one. But maybe there's other ideas that we haven't come across yet.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We can compromise on both. Like, there's a bit of action and a bit of, wordplay. That might work.
A bit.
Okay.
So there was the second point, but I think we had to scratch that one.
Okay.
Or do you have anything that we
No,
can
we
change on
did
that?
talk about not assuming things. Yeah.
No, this one. Sorry, I wrote the script because this topic has been
It's a lot
heated.
it's a lot of points we have to cover this time. Yeah, this taught to hide emotions. That's not really true.
Then explain how you feel about it, because the point was they hide their emotions, they're taught to hide emotions, or they get told that they're not allowed to cry and all that stuff. So what's your
Okay,
take?
I would come out and say this. I was a crybaby. I don't know whether I have said this before. I was a crybaby when I was in school. I used to cry for everything, and I have heard, "You're a boy, you shouldn't be doing this." I get that, but that's not the reason why I stopped crying. No, but it's not because people told me you're a boy, you can't cry. It's just that you come into realization that that's not what the life requires from you. Life requires from you to do few other things, and crying is not one of them. And that's when I say we learn that from the world, not from other people.
But in that way, you're still kind of taught by life and by yourself.
By life, yes, that's true.
So
it's not
still
from
taught.
Yeah, but my issue is like people think, oh, men are taught not to cry by other men. No, it's not coming from other men. It's coming from the world. The experiences is what shapes us that way. Yeah, you can cry, that's fine. And we hold our tears for very special occasions and people that we trust.
I've realized that one.
Yeah, and we don't, no matter what happens, you could break down inside. But I don't know, I think you have to be more than what you feel. That's how I have experienced in life.
That leads to the point men have to be strong at all times.
Well, someone has to.
Yeah,
Because
but-
the life is a pain.
Of course, but everybody has times where he's strong and where he's not so strong. It's a 50-50, or should be a 50-50.
True,
There
and
shouldn't
I'm
be.
saying, okay, the thing that you said, we need a good sort of people that around us that we can feel safe and we can trust.
Yeah.
If you have that, I think men would be more happy to be showing that emotional state. But at the moment, that's not how it is. Anytime we have shown that emotional side of us, a lot of the times that was used against us in some other context.
Well, so is my life,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't stopped showing these emotions. Yeah, sometimes I'm careful and I don't talk about it because I know some people will use it against me, and that is slightly painful.
Yes.
But the point is, how do we as people get into a man's safe space so we can be that person that they will open up to, that will ask for help, where they show vulnerability and have no problems with that stuff?
It's built over time. Trust. This is the thing about trust. Everyone says trust once broken can't be rebuilt. I am one of those people. Once my trust is gone, it's not coming back. It may be a me issue, but that's the case. But I have no issues crying in front of her, and I have done that few times, I guess. Yeah, because I was going through something really hard, and she's the one who I relied on. So I have no issues showing that emotional side to someone who I trust. But to have people you trust is the hard part for men.
Yeah, so how does a person get into that space? So if there's somebody listening right now who has a best friend, who wants to be that person for their best friend, what is the things?
It's not going to happen in one day.
It was hard work to get there.
It
with
takes
you.
time.
But give us an example. Give me anything. Do this, this, and this, and this.
You know I'll tell you what. You know the things that you have done for me. You made me a hot chocolate for my birthday. I still have that cup.
You better.
I-
I've never seen it again, by the way.
You're not getting it back.
I'm not wanting it back. I don't have any proof that you still have it. That's
Yes,
so
I do
annoying.
have it. I don't know. It's not one thing. It's just these little things that makes you feel that, okay, this is a person I can trust, and I can explain things. I can show that side, and it's not going to come back and bite me in the back because I did so. And I don't think there's any shortcut to that. Than if you have a male friend, and if he tells you something, and if ever you can't use it against that person in any context. If you ever do that, there is not going to be resolved from there.
I think that's a general human action thingy.
Mm,
Don't ever use something somebody said against them. It's
yeah,
just,
but people do that even in their relationships. Like let alone friends. Friends might do that accidentally, or
I mean, I get it. If you're in a heated argument and that kind of stuff, it's very emotional. It's not an excuse, but it can happen.
yeah.
But then resolve it and apologize. But that leaves wounds. That is not fun.
That is a huge issue.
No.
Some of the things that you say to people that you believe to be trustworthy, and you're like, whoa, I did not see that coming in that light with you, but okay.
That's a human error. That happens way too often.
Mm.
So one thing to build a safe space with a guy is to do little actions that show you care, show there's trust.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, I told you about the hug.
The hug.
The hug. The hug.
That's where we have an issue. You're the huggy person and I'm the
Okay, I'll tell you why.
cold
Because
person.
I don't know. I think humans need physical affection.
Some.
Okay. Apparently, Miss here don't want to have any human connection.
Not really. I don't like them too much.
I
At
know.
least not the physical one. I like the intellectual ones. But the physical touchy ones is quite limited. There's like, depending on the day,
Yeah.
the 3 or 4 spaces for physical touch and that's it. But that we can open in a whole different topic about all
That
my
is a big
issues.
issue, yes. Because for some reason, I feel like human contact is needed for humans, basically.
That's what my therapist always tells me too.
Yeah. I think there's some truth to that.
I still believe it's better to be alone.
See, this is the thing. Like, if I'm going through a really hard time, if somebody came and gave me a hug, that would make me feel so much at peace than someone telling me like everything is going to be all right. Because as the principle number 1, words are empty, actions are not.
Yeah, it depends. I just don't want to be touched sometimes. If you give me a hug, I'm just gonna be, go away, thank
This
you.
is going to be an exploding cannon. Like,
I'm like a cat, okay?
mhm,
There's times where I want cuddles,
mhm.
and I demand cuddles, and there's time if you touch me, I scratch your eyes out. It's pretty simple. You like cats. You understand the logic.
I love cats. Yes, I get that, but I don't know. Maybe different emotional needs for different people.
Oh yeah, different trauma, different coping mechanisms, different everything.
Have I told you about how I found out about hugs?
How you found out about hugs?
Yeah, I think I did speak about this in one of the meetings we had in the crisis.
Oh, I'm unsure at the moment.
So, I grew up in South India, again, for the story. My people don't hug. Now it's different, but when I was growing up, no. We all stayed separate in our lanes. Like, it's a family, but the max we might say is holding hands of children just to make sure that they are in the same group, like we are not losing any children. that's pretty much it.
Sounds like my dream world.
No, we never hugged. We didn't have any physical contact of any sort. Like, if you look at pictures from my family album and things like that, we'll see these people, like 4 or 5 people. They'll just stand in a straight line, like meerkats. Like,
Good example of
like it
that.
will be just like eyes open. There'll be like probably no emotion at all. We'll just like stand straight, and we're like, attention. Okay, done. So that was the case. I found out about hugs when I moved to Scotland, and I was like, whoa, I didn't know. And I was like, what, 26 or something at that point. We never hugged. We used to shake hands. That's it. But when I came back from Scotland, I remember I came and hugged my parents, and they were like, what are you doing? But they also liked it. Okay, they were like, what are we doing? I'm like, okay. But I became a huge proponent of hugs. So
It's quite funny. My story is a bit similar,
mm-hmm.
but then quite different. Because in school,
Yeah.
when you're teenage girls,
Yeah.
especially, you come to school and every morning it's like, hello, sweetie, give me a hug. And every morning you pretend like you haven't seen that person for years and you're so huggy and lovey-dovey.
Who are we talking about?
Like,
Your classmates?
yeah.
What do you mean you haven't seen them in years?
No, every morning in school.
Yeah.
Like, they pretend. We go to
Oh,
school
like
on
you
Monday.
haven't seen
and
them
on
in years,
Tuesday
okay.
they pretend, oh, I need to hug you. I haven't seen you in ages. And that is so fake. That's probably one of the reasons what put me off of hugs.
Yeah.
But my family was the same. No hugs, no nothing. No, I love you. God forbid.
Oh, we have never said I love you
but
to each
then,
other.
when I went to Texas,
Hmm.
I had the same thing that you had in Scotland. I started with people that hugged me and stayed with me, waited for me to go to the school bus and said I love you every single morning. That was my awakening.
Yeah.
And now I'm more loving.
Open to
in that
hugs.
way. Yeah, open to hugs. Accepting,
Mm-hmm.
appreciative, definitely. But yeah, hugs are a big thing.
Oh, I do hug a lot. Most people. And sometimes I even kiss them on their forehead or on their head.
Yeah.
I do that because I think that all adds to the whole experience of life. Life is painful, so if you can add a little tidbits of things like that, it's very easy to lose track of why we are doing this mess.
That's true. But we also lost track of the points that we're trying to teach.
Okay.
It's been about
Well,
hugs.
about building safe spaces.
Okay, one of the points is hugs. The other thing we talked about earlier was if you check on your friends and you give them the, hey, how are you? That is not building the trust. But
No.
if you start asking, hey, how are you actually today? Or how have you been? I've heard there was something going on. Do you want to talk? And you offer again and again, because I'm the same. If you ask me one time, I will tell you I'm fine. But if you ask again and again, I would eventually tell you how I really am. So yeah, ask different.
I would say the same, yeah.
Maybe ask different questions, like, hey, what are you thinking about? Like, one of my friends started asking the question every time I saw him, what was your highlight of the week?
Mm?
Very weird question. And he started to annoy me with that.
You know, that's actually a really
But-
good question.
Yeah, I saw.
Because we both have the sarcastic nature. When, say, what was the highlight of your, you might say, oh, it was great. It was the best week ever.
Perfectly splendid.
Oh, yeah, that's what you told me today. How are you? Splendid.
Yeah, that's my safe word for when I'm really, really crappy. It's like, splendid, how are you?
I think there's a fair amount of cynicism that got into both of us for many, many years. So
There's a reason why we're friends.
Yeah, that's-
Definitely is.
the internal cynic never rests.
Yeah.
And there's this exterior shell that we carry, so nothing gets in unless you have to be a woodpecker and literally chip on it a few times saying, how are you really? How is this?
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. It takes a lot of work and effort.
Or maybe
But I think most of the time it's worth it.
yeah.
But
I think it's just you have to be so honest, and I don't know that we should feel that this is a real question, not just a throwaway line.
Yeah, but it's such an intense question. If you're actually not okay,
Yeah.
especially here in Australia,
Mm.
everywhere you go, it's like, how are you? Good on you. And walk off.
How are ya?
It's like the most generic phrase you hear 500 times a day. And if you would actually start opening up
Hmm.
while that person is walking past you and ready to move on, that is awkward.
True.
Very, very awkward.
Yeah.
So that doesn't help. So stop asking when you're not interested, would be my take. Because if somebody asks me and they're not interested,
Oh yeah,
Then-
no one is interested. We're just using it as like
yeah,
that's the pleasantries.
and that's not okay. That's why I started to lie. If I would actually know that people genuinely care and it's not just that, oh, good morning, how are you,
Mm.
politeness,
Mm.
I would maybe lie less about it. I would still lie to people that I don't trust, but I would not lie to my friends. But I think most of my friends
Yes.
know by now that how I say things and what words I say when I'm lying. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, you need few people that you can just literally open up and fear no judgment by opening up.
Yep.
So if you have people in your life, just reach out, ask them how they are. And if they say fine, maybe ask a bit more, or maybe just dance around that subject a couple more times.
Yeah, you can dance around, be like, what happened this week? And maybe if they feel safe, they will tell you, okay, this week this and this happened.
Mhm.
Maybe there was an argument with their boss that they actually tell you about. Because another fact is that I think in Australia, it's 40% of men have admitted that they are lonely. But they have
I would think that
not
number would be more.
ever spoken about that to anybody.
How can we?
Well, you tell me, how?
We
How
can't
can we
speak
fix that?
about that
Why
because how do I even begin with this? Okay, why do people feel lonely? There's no real connection.
No real connection, not validated, no safe space to talk.
No.
There's many reasons.
Yeah, and of all the progressive thought we have, people still expect traditional values, which I don't get it at all.
It's not helping.
No. So you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? You feel so disconnected and disillusioned. Whatever you do, that's never enough.
That's also a big thing. That's all that old thinking that
Mm.
you have to be this and you have to be this, and all that thinking has to be thrown overboard because at the end,
Mm-hmm.
it's unhealthy and it doesn't go anywhere. It just doesn't.
It doesn't. Yes, true. It doesn't.
It
But
just creates more problems.
because there's, I don't know, this could be very controversial. I believe everyone have a privilege in whatever positions they are.
Mhm.
Being a man has its own privilege. Being a woman has its own privilege. But none of these privileges exist in vacuum. They all comes with responsibilities. You can't shy away from that. And it's easy to, just look at the privileges, but all the burdens that comes with it still weighs you down.
Hey, that's also a topic we shouldn't get into, otherwise we're gonna argue for the next
We will
hour.
argue for the next. I think we will argue till the end of time.
Yes.
Yes.
Most likely.
So we were about building safe space for people to open up. It has to start from, I don't know, maybe one person that you think that you're safe with. If you have none at all, that is very tricky, but you're gonna have to start reaching out to more
That's
people.
the other starting thing.
Mm.
It's so hard to make friends
Oh
the
yeah.
older you get,
Mm-hmm.
and then making friends with meaningful connection. That is very, 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 very tricky. So I started to realize how rare it is,
Mm-hmm.
and the people that I have in my life, I will value them till end of time. I will go through heaven and hell and whatever
Mm.
to make sure they are okay, because they're not easy to find.
No, that's true.
Very tricky.
Adding to that, I know it's really hard to make new friends. In the last, I don't know, few years, there was few life experiences I had. So I lost few people in my life, but some of these people were always there. I just had to make the effort of making a phone call, and I did. And because of that, I also gained back some of the people that I thought I lost. So maybe you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to, you don't feel connected to anyone, you don't feel safe among anyone that you know now, but there may be people that you felt that in the past, and they may be still there if you're happy to make that effort. And sometimes you have to, because they may be feeling the same thing. Because some of the people, when I reached out, they were going through even worse situations. So I opened up and they opened up to me, and we are like, great, we haven't skipped a beat now. So
That's a good reconnection.
yeah, that was really good. When I did that, I was like, yeah, good, I haven't lost all those people. Some of those people I haven't spoken to over a decade, but made sense.
I think another good point is when you talk to people, turn the judgment down. Yeah, especially you.
Wow.
Stop judging and actively listen.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you come across so off, because you're judgy. If somebody opens up, don't judge. Even if you judge, keep it in your mind. Don't speak it. Because if that person feels judged, then you've already lost.
Yeah.
Then this will never open up ever again. And that's the tricky part. Everybody is so quick to judge. I think the brain biologically is meant to judge. You see a fruit and you're like judging. Is it good or is it bad? Can I eat it? Can I not eat it? There's an animal. Can I eat it? Can I hunt it? What's the chances of survival? We judge. But maybe on that one, let's not judge too much.
I had to remind this to myself all the time, because it's not the judgmental part, because I kind of know that, but sometimes I still do it. That's my own fault.
You think?
It's my own fault. I'll take that on the chin and move on. What I'm saying is, it may look silly to you, and trust me, there's so many things in this world, when I hear that, it sounds so silly to me, but at the same time, I'm not in their shoes. My experiences are far more different. So someone who complains about the stuff, who grew up in Australia, probably will not understand the difficulties of growing up in a third world country.
Fair.
And I grew up in India, and I will never understand the difficulties of growing up in Africa, for that matter. So it's all relative. So something that you find silly might not be silly for someone else. And I am taking that I had to remind this to myself, because a lot of things I hear like, oh my dear God, people are so snowflakes these times.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people that are blessed. They never had to lose anybody in their life, never had a rough time, never had to count money to see what they can afford. But just because they haven't, you can't judge them.
Okay, this is why I say everyone has to at least have the mentality to take hardships and be okay with hardships in life.
Yeah, but if it's the first big one, you can't expect them to handle it.
True, it doesn't have to be something so massive, but something smaller. Maybe not having the perfect meal that you wanted. Starting from there, like you came home from a very rainy day, you wanted soup, but you don't have anything, and you just have to boil something, maybe boil a potato and eat it without any salt.
So going back to your story after school.
I have so many stories like this. But my father used to tell me like, oh, you're such a spoiled brat. You will not survive in this world. That was my upbringing.
Fair enough. Another point I just want to highlight is validation. The validation of feelings. I don't know if it's for men just as important, apparently to you not, but for me it was very important. One of my friends I met on a difficult day, and just the fact that he validated my feelings, how frustrated I was with the situation, made me feel so much better. And that was one of the reasons why we started to be friends, because that validation went a long way. I don't know, men apparently don't need feelings, so maybe they don't need them validated. But I would generally
I said
still
no
say,
such things.
You say so many weird things, it's ridiculous. But generally validate people's feelings and maybe encourage them. And if people don't want to talk to you, a simple thing to figure out what they need is by asking. Like, simply ask, hey, if you're not feeling right, what do you need? Do you want to talk? Do you want to go get ice cream? Easy. Or do you just want to be alone? And I'm available if you want to talk on the phone. Just simple steps. Works or not good?
It does. I don't have any disagreement there.
Thank God.
Yes. That's one thing. That's one thing I don't have any disagreements on.
Okay.
Yeah, you need people to see you. I would use the word see you, because when somebody is going through a really hard time, still trying to, hold everything together, and you can continue that way. If nobody is willing to see you, that's when you start feel disconnected about everything, because nobody sees your reality. And I don't know, a lot of people don't want to announce to the world that I'm going through a lot. Personal preferences.
That is wrong. There is a lot of people that actually use that to get attention on social media, to get clicks.
Don't even get me started on social media.
I'm just saying, there is enough people that actually use that in improper ways, so it loses value and meaning.
True. I think a lot of people use that as a rage bait.
Yeah, that's an social media and rage bait. That is some interesting topic as well. Yeah, maybe.
It's like somebody saying, like you're 22 years old and you have a Lamborghini, and you're like, oh, I just bought this Lamborghini, but the tire is punctured. My life is so shit.
And you're like, it's wrong.
And you're like, I can't even pay rent.
Yeah, you get it in silver, but you want it.
Yeah.
Coal color.
Yeah.
How dare that?
And that's a trend now. So yeah.
Yeah. So I guess you need to be careful with that too. But there's one more thing I wanted to do with you.
What is
because
that?
I came across something that I realized that I need to look into for myself. So I have a little test. The test.
What test?
I have a test. You just need to answer the questions.
Okay.
That's the test. Do you feel uncomfortable relying on others?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you downplay struggles, even
Yes.
to close friends and partners?
Yes.
Okay. Do you push people away when you're hurt?
Depending on whether we can. Okay, if I'm hurt, I don't push people away because if somebody's trying to help me, but if I'm going to be a problem for someone else, I would definitely push them away.
Okay, fair. Do you equate asking for help with being weak?
Yes.
Okay. Do you wish someone would help you, but you never say it?
Yes.
That is some of the symptoms of something that I came across. Other symptoms are not asking even for small favors, saying I'm fine even when you're not, bottling up emotions, having that if I don't do it, nobody will believe, which you apparently have strongly. With men need to be so strong. If men don't stay strong, nobody will be.
Yeah, I have a term for this.
What?
The
Ego?
superhero syndrome.
Fair enough.
I termed it many years ago. That's my issue.
Oh yeah, and other things like proud of not needing help, but feeling drained and lonely. These are symptoms of something that came across, which is called hyper-independency. It's a mental health problem.
Probably, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of pride, even though it's misplaced, because you shouldn't be finding your pride and joy that way. But I have found my pride in not being dependent on other things or other people, because I don't know, maybe it's my upbringing that some of the things that my father said still stays with me, that I can't take hardships in life. I will not make anything good, or I'm like a spoiled brat. In his view, he has gone through a lot of struggles, and we didn't have to because things were much better when we were born. So that's his argument. I get it. Maybe that has gotten into me, that I have to go through hardships and I can take it on, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's your take. My take was I need to get into it and maybe chat to somebody about mental health thingies, since we're making awareness of that with that video anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we did that was normalized, but now we can see these nuances of that maybe not the best idea to promote. And a lot of people, I think, it's just like you get hit, you move on, you take it on the chin and you move on. That's the mentality.
Yeah, but that's that whole it's okay not to be okay thing as well.
Yeah.
And I think that, especially in mental health,
Ooh.
is a big issue.
I have a story in that case. So when I joined my work, well, this is like 7 years ago, we have a day, I think it's in September or something. It's called the Are You OK Day. I think it's all over Australia.
Yes.
Okay. So that one day at work, we asked this question, are you okay? So it is meant to be like a gateway. So again, because everyone is asking that question to each other, it might help maybe two people to open up and say something. May not be the entire story, but something. So to open up that conversation, this is there. So I came back that day and I posted in Facebook. Yes, this is like 2019 and Facebook was still a thing. And I posted, people asked me whether I'm okay, and my answer was, I'm not even close. And I posted that on Facebook, and two of my managers did reach out to me and asked me, like, are you okay? And I was not. And to this day, they're both one of my friends, and we do have a really good relationship because of that. I did tell them some more things back then, opened up a bit, and that did help me a lot. I still have a couch from one of these managers because when I moved out, I didn't even have a place to sit, and she gave me that couch. Still carries on. So shout out to my manager.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a very good one. So maybe that's a good task. Ask some friends, reconnect, ask them if they're okay, ask them how they really, really are, and if they want to talk, and see what comes along with maybe long lost friendships or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, be aware that mental health is an issue, and maybe you can make a change.
Yeah, and we're kind of going through this kind of a transition time. Like, we didn't care about mental health for so many years. Now that awareness is slowly getting built up.
We're getting
over
there,
time.
yeah. We're
So,
finally addressing a huge issue.
yes. So a lot of the things that we do nowadays can be a lot problematic 20 years from now when we look back and we were like, what the hell we were doing?
Oh, I do that every day.
Hmm.
I'll ask myself, why did I do that yesterday? What was I thinking? But that's a different topic.
Mm.
Do you want anything else?
No, I think I have spoken enough today.
So that's a wrap for that one.
That's a wrap for that one.
Let's see if there's any more ideas. Maybe we can make a second part if we can think of something else.
This is a
But-
treasure trove, so yeah, there'll be always ideas.
That one is a wrap for now. So thank you for listening.
Thank you so much.